Hey guys, welcome back to The Frugal Life with Mercedes. So today we are going to do a chatty video. I've actually gotten a lot of viewers that said that they've been missing my more chatty videos, and then I have people that really don't like chatty videos. So just so you know, this will be a chatty video. So today I am going to discuss easy, no-brainer ways to save money that you might not have thought about. And I call them no-brainers because once you hear them, you're going to be like, wow, that's really simple. And the thing is, I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't know people that do all these things. Now, most of these things are things that I don't have a problem with or haven't had a problem with. But a lot of people know that I have a frugal channel and that I'm working on a debt-free journey. So they will ask my opinion about that. And again, I would like just to say that I'm living with my parents and the setup is a little bit weird. So I'm sorry about the weird lighting in the back, but here we are. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into the video. So, an easy no-brainer thing that you can do, number one, make sure that you are checking your bank account. Now, why I say you need to make sure you're checking your bank account. Now, I check my bank account multiple times a day, every day, multiple times. And that is because you might be being charged for something that you thought you canceled, or I know one time I started getting these weird bank charges. And when I went to the bank and was like, what is this weird charge? And it was like $5 or something. But $5 times 12 times 10 years is a lot of money. So I went right to the bank and was like, what is this charge? And it had turned out that I no longer qualified for like a student checking account. And I didn't even know that I had a student checking account. It never even dawned on me. I never even really thought about it. So they were like, well, you're not a student, you're of a certain age, blah, 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 blah. So we have to charge you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to have a bank account that I'm being charged for. So how do we work around this? Or I'm going to have to go to a different bank. So we worked it out, and I have two different banks that I bank through, and I receive 0 monthly fees. So that brings me to my second point. Find a bank that doesn't charge you fees. They should want you to bank with them. So if they want you to bank with them, they're not going to charge you a bunch of annual fees. I do have to pay for my checks from the bank, but checks last me such a long time that that's really just that's a non-issue. So try to find a bank that doesn't charge you. Or if you find out that they were charging you and you see those charges because you're starting to check your account, then you can ask them hey, is there another checking account or savings account that I could use through your bank, or is there some sort of loophole to get out of paying that charge? And if they want to keep you, they're going to try to help you with that. Another thing is give up those daily lattes. Now, I'm going to do a whole video on giving up small things and how those build up to big rewards. But if there is something that you do on a daily basis and you're finding that you're spending a ton of money, maybe you don't even realize it. So again, that helps when you're doing number one, checking your bank account. Because when you check your bank account, you're seeing, okay, I went to Starbucks every day this month, and I spent $200, but then you don't have any extra money to put towards debt or put towards retirement. So if you're keeping track of what you're spending, and then you're realizing that you have all these little habits, and you modify those, you would be saving a ton of money. So I'm not saying give up Starbucks completely, or give up your weekend cocktails with the girls. I'm just saying, think about what your goals are and think about, could I have Starbucks maybe on Saturdays only as a treat instead of every single day? or, any little small habits that you might have. Is there a way that I could do this a little bit cheaper? Going to the convenience store and getting a $2 or $3 candy bar when you could go to Dollar Tree and get a candy bar for $1 and maybe buy enough so that you'd have 7 candy bars, so that's $7, or buy a large pack at the Costco, or maybe not eat that candy bar every day and make it a rare treat. It's about modifying the behavior of that daily habit. And again, I'm going to do a whole video on that in particular. Another thing that you want to do is that goes along with number 1. A lot of things are going to go along with number 1, checking your bank account. Is there something that you're being charged for that you don't use? Now, this is different than number 2 with the banks charging you fees. This has to do with beauty box subscriptions, gym memberships, all that kind of stuff. So I know lots of people that have gym memberships and don't use their gym membership and have never used their gym membership or haven't in years and years and years. And this is not because they couldn't because of the coronavirus. I'm talking way before the virus, way before you couldn't go into a gym. They just did not use their gym membership. And even if it's Planet Fitness where you're being charged $10 a month, because I've had people be like, oh, it's $10. Okay, but $10 times 12 times however many years, that's a lot of money that you could be putting towards something else. You could be going on vacations with all those little extra things. So if there's some sort of membership, something that you are being charged for and you really don't like it or you don't use it, maybe it's time to let that go. If you've had your gym membership for 2 years and you've never stepped foot in that gym, maybe it's time to let go of that gym membership, okay? Now, what you could do is you could make a goal of start working out at home. And let's say you really get into working out at home, then go and renew a gym membership or get a gym membership. But if you've literally never worked out or you never go or whatever the situation is, it's time to let it go. And I know then you feel like you're failing, but it's you have to be realistic too. Am I using this? Or there's a lot of people that get those beauty box subscriptions. I've never gotten one of those, but I'll see people complain oh, well, it's not even that good, or that's crap I don't even really use. Well, then stop getting the membership. The only membership that I have is to Dollar Shave Club, and I've literally been a member of Dollar Shave Club since the beginning, years and years and years and years. And I absolutely love Dollar Shave Club. I pay $4 and I get the, I think it's the three blade razor or something like that. And I love it. And I've used it for years and years. And actually I was getting razor heads every single month, and I just had so many that I actually had to put my subscription on pause for a little while, just because I had so many. But for me, that's worth it, and that's something that I use and something that I love. But if it ever got to the point where the razors lost their quality, or I just wasn't happy with the company anymore, I would cancel and move on. Okay, so another thing that's going to save you money is stop being brand loyal. Now, I have a friend, I'm not going to say who she is, but she only buys particular brand vehicles. And when I say she's been doing this for 40 years. She thinks every other car company is sketchy. She just is super loyal to this car company. And at the end of the day, that car company or that brand of tampons or that brand of soda, they don't care in the scheme of things. All they want is they put their advertising dollars out to try to convince you that they're better. They're trying to convince you that they're better than everybody. But at the end of the day, for the most part, soda is soda, canned soup is canned soup, a tampon's a tampon, a car is a car. And yes, there are some exceptions, if you have an allergy to something, or if it's an ethical company and you want to show your support, because I do know people that they have to buy certain brands of something because of dietary restrictions or ethical treatments of things, which is amazing. But that's completely different than it's like people just go to the store and they see a certain brand of soup and they have to get that can of soup, when really the store brand that's sitting right next to it tastes just as good. Now, I know some of you are going to totally disagree with that, and you're going to be like, oh, well, my whatever mayonnaise or my whatever blah, blah, blah. And if there's a couple of things that you really are brand loyal to and you feel like the off-brand really does not taste the same, okay, well, but to be brand loyal about everything, I'm just encouraging you guys, because I've met people that are like, oh, generic tastes terrible. Well, what generic brands have you tried? And then it turns out they've literally never had a generic anything. Okay, well, you can't really say that generic is automatically bad when you've never even tried it. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. A lot of times, those generic brands are made right alongside the regular. Just saying. Do you really think that they have a generic factory just for soup? No. They make a lot of these products alongside each other. That's why if you look at the ingredients, a lot of times it's basically exactly the same. The label's the exact same. It's just one's pretty and one's generic. So I'm really encouraging you guys, if you've never tried off-brand, just give it a try. The only thing that I'm super loyal to is the Dollar Tree. I am super, super loyal to the Dollar Tree. And so I get a lot of my stuff from the Dollar Tree. And again, not everything from the Dollar Tree is a good deal, so you have to know. But go to the Dollar Tree. Check it out. Give it a try. Go to your grocery store. Instead of buying a certain brand or whatever, try something else. And I promise it's going to save you a ton of money, and you're not going to notice the difference. You're really not. Another thing I wanted to say, a no-brainer tip that might be a little controversial, is stop hanging out with people that peer pressure you. So, we all know those people, whether it be our sister or our friend or the co-worker or that aunt or whoever, who everything has to be over the top. Their kids' birthday parties have to be extravagant and just, ugh. And then it makes you want to do the same thing. When maybe a huge birthday party with ponies is not a priority to you, or maybe you can't afford it, but you're spending that money because you're trying to keep up with people. So keeping up with the Joneses. So those are two things that go alongside. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Live your best life. Know what your financial goals are. Know what you want to spend your money on. That's what being frugal is all about. I spend money on tattoos, and that's pretty much it. Tattoos and like nice restaurants, and that's a priority to me. But getting my clothes from some expensive store is not a priority to me. But maybe to you, getting the really nice clothes is a priority, and you don't mind driving an unreliable car. That's what being frugal is about. It's us picking and choosing what we spend our money on. So do not allow other people to put pressure on you to spend a certain amount of money. Or I know lots of people that go on multiple vacations in a year or multiple vacations in a summer, and that's great for them. I want to go on 1,000,000 vacations too, but you have to remember what your goals are, and maybe their goals are different. So maybe that person is going to the beach 10 times this summer, but they're up to their eyeballs in debt, or don't have a reliable car, or owe the IRS money, or maybe they're in a wonderful financial situation. You just never know. But you can't assume that because somebody's got the nice car and the nice house and the this and that and this, you can't assume that they're automatically doing better than you. Because at the end of the day, that person that went on 10 vacations last year, maybe they're not going to have anything to retire with. Let that sink in. Think about what your goals are and how you can accomplish them. And don't try to keep up with people. And sometimes you have to excommunicate yourself from people. If you have somebody that's always like, oh, you guys should go on vacation with us. Oh, no, thanks, we're good. And then they bully you and bully you and bully you until you go on vacation with them. They're not a real friend. They don't really care about you because they should accept that you say no thank you. And you don't have to explain yourself to people. If someone's like, hey, on vacation with us, it's only going to be $10,000. Oh, no thanks. And then they're like, why? Well, at the end of the day, nobody gets to decide what you do with your money except for you. So this is a boundaries issue too. You know, you have to think about that. Another thing, another no-brainer way to save money is don't go shopping just to go shopping. So I really try not to window shop. When I do go shopping, I kind of have a list in my head of things I'm looking for, like, oh, I'm looking for a new pair of jeans, I'm looking for a new this. And then if you find something that you really like and it's in your price range, then you've got it. But really try not to go just aimlessly shopping. Along with that is I don't go to the store if I need one thing. I actually have a huge pet peeve. And again, it's your life, do what you want, but I'm not going to do it. If we're out of something, like let's say we're out of milk, I guess we ain't having milk, because I will not go to the store for 1, 2, 3 items. Like, I just don't do it. If my list is not 10 items or higher, we're not going to the store. And so I've had a lot of situations where it was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I want to have hot dogs for dinner. Well, we don't have buns. So we're eating hot dogs without buns, or we're going to have something else. Or a recipe calls for a specific expensive spice. I know lots of people that are going to go and spend that $12 on that spice and never use that spice again. Why not see if somebody nearby has it? Like if one of your neighbors has it, or your mom or your friend or whoever, let's see if they have it. Or if you could go to a store and buy it in bulk and just get a small amount. Where I live, there is no stores where you can just get small amounts of spices, unfortunately. But I know a lot of people, there are places like that. But what I will do is I will research, like, what can I use in place of this? So like the other day, I wanted to make cornbread because I had made chili. Didn't have eggs. And guess what? I wasn't going to the store to buy eggs. So if you combine baking soda and vinegar, that replaces the eggs. And that cornbread was amazing. You would not even be able to tell that there were not eggs in it. It was so good. No one knew that I didn't put eggs in it. And it was delicious. So if you're out of an ingredient, get creative. Can I use something else? Can I do without? Could we just make something else? Because when you go to the store for one item, you end up with half a shopping cart full of crap that you didn't even need. And with that, that also goes, do not shop when you are hungry. I am terrible at that. I went to the Dollar Tree this morning, this afternoon, and I hadn't eaten yet. And then I had to like resist the urge to like get the snackies because I'm trying to stay good with my Weight Watchers and I'm trying not to spend money that I don't need to spend. So that was like a bad on my part. So keep a granola bar in your purse or in your car. Have lunch and then go to the store. All these different things. Bring water with you. Bring yourself a soda. Great things to do. So these are just some no-brainer tips. Some of you are probably like, yeah, I do all that. But there's going to be people out there that are like, yeah, maybe I don't check my bank account often enough. And that's also another thing about the checking the bank account is then you can see fraud right away. I had a fraud situation on my credit card, and I literally saw it 5 minutes after it happened because I was like, wasn't there. What is this? And I was able to call and just like got taken care of. Versus if you're not consistently checking these things, it can add up. And think if you do all these things together, you're going to save a ton of money. So this was a little bit of a chatty video. Like I said, I've had a lot of people saying that they miss my chatty videos. And if you don't like chatty videos, I'm sorry. I got to try to balance it out. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did not know, I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life with Mercedes. Email me at my email, frugallifewithmercedes@yahoo.com. And I would love to get to know you guys. And check out the article that came out about me in March about dumpster diving. If you Google dumpster diving Mercedes, you can see that article. And until next time, guys, bye.